Close your eyes for a moment and imagine something simple. What if the small actions you do every day could become moments of peace? Turning a doorknob, taking the first sip of water in the morning, waiting for a phone or computer to load. Many people believe peace requires big changes, long meditation retreats, complicated routines, or escaping a busy life. But the most contented people understand something different. Peace is rarely built through grand gestures. It grows through small, repeated moments of awareness. These are what we call micro-mindfulness rituals. Tiny pauses hidden inside ordinary transitions, where the mind gently returns to the present moment. In this video, we will explore 7 micro-mindfulness rituals that calm, resilient people quietly practice every day. The first ritual happens in the quiet moment just after waking, before reaching for your phone, before checking messages, before the world begins asking for your attention. Simply pause. Take 3 slow breaths. Feel the body resting against the bed. Notice the gentle rhythm of breathing. Notice the stillness of the morning before the day begins to move. For many people, the first action of the day is immediately looking at their phone. Notifications, news, emails, and messages begin filling the mind within seconds of waking. The mind is pulled into the noise of the world before it even has time to settle. But contented people often begin differently. They start the day with awareness instead of reaction. These 3 breaths may seem small, almost insignificant, yet they do something powerful. They anchor the mind in the present moment before external demands take control of attention. In Buddhist practice, the breath has always been a doorway to awareness. It is simple, always available, and naturally calming to the nervous system. By noticing the breath, the mind remembers that this moment is enough. The first 30 seconds of the day quietly shape the tone of everything that follows. When the day begins with calm awareness, the mind becomes less reactive and more steady. Instead of rushing immediately into activity, you begin the day with presence. 3 breaths, a quiet body, a peaceful beginning. Sometimes the smallest ritual is enough to change the direction of the entire day. The second ritual appears during something we do many times every day, walking through a doorway. We move from room to room, building to building, space to space, often without noticing the transition at all. But each doorway offers a quiet opportunity for awareness. This ritual is simple. When your hand touches a door handle, pause for a moment. Take 3 conscious breaths. Allow the doorway to become a symbolic threshold between 2 moments. Behind you is the previous space, perhaps a conversation, a task, or a stressful situation. Ahead of you is a new moment that has not yet unfolded. With each breath, release the previous moment. Then step forward with awareness into the next. Modern neuroscience has discovered something interesting about these physical transitions. When the body moves from one environment to another, the brain naturally resets attention. This is sometimes called contextual anchoring. In simple terms, your mind becomes more open to new awareness when you cross a physical boundary. Instead of letting the mind remain tangled in the previous moment, you can use this transition to reset. A single pause at a doorway can gently interrupt stress, frustration, or scattered thinking. You leave one space behind. You enter another with a clearer mind. Over time, ordinary doorways become small gates of mindfulness. Each threshold becomes a reminder that every new moment is a chance to begin again. The third ritual happens during something so ordinary that most people never notice it: the first sip of water or tea. Each morning, many of us reach for a drink almost automatically, but at the same time, the mind is already somewhere else. We check messages, scroll through news, or think about everything we need to do that day. This ritual invites you to slow down for just a few seconds. When you take the first sip of water, pause, do nothing else. No phone, no scrolling, no rushing. Bring your attention fully to the experience. Notice the temperature of the water as it touches your lips. Notice the texture as it moves across the tongue. Feel the gentle movement as it travels down the throat. It is a simple sensory moment that usually goes unnoticed. Yet when the mind focuses on one small sensation, something interesting happens. The brain begins to reset. Attention gathers itself again instead of scattering across many thoughts. In modern life, the mind is constantly pulled in different directions. Multitasking has become the norm, but our nervous system finds calm when attention returns to one thing at a time. This ritual is a moment of single-task awareness, a quiet pause between sleep and activity, between rest and responsibility. With just one mindful sip, the body hydrates and the mind arrives fully in the present moment. Sometimes peace begins with something as simple as drinking water slowly. The fourth ritual appears in moments that most people find frustrating. Waiting. Modern life is full of tiny pauses. A screen is loading. An elevator is moving slowly. A notification takes a moment to appear. A traffic light turns red. In these moments, the mind often becomes restless. We reach for our phones, check something unnecessary, or feel irritated by the delay. But what if these waiting moments could become opportunities for calm? Instead of filling the pause with distraction, use it for a simple breathing pattern known as the 4-2-6 breath. Inhale slowly for 4 seconds. Hold the breath gently for 2 seconds. Then exhale slowly for 6 seconds. This longer exhale naturally signals the nervous system to relax. Just 1 or 2 cycles of this breathing pattern can soften tension in the body and quiet the mind. These moments may only last 10 or 20 seconds, but they appear many times throughout the day. Without awareness, these pauses become small sources of stress. With awareness, they become invisible moments of restoration. Each breath becomes a reset. Instead of feeling impatient, the mind begins to welcome these pauses. Because in a world that constantly demands attention, even a few seconds of conscious breathing can restore balance. What once felt like wasted time becomes a quiet opportunity for peace. The fifth ritual can be practiced during something many of us already do every day: walking. Whether it is walking to your car, moving between buildings, or commuting through a busy street, these moments often pass in a blur. The body moves forward, but the mind is somewhere else, replaying conversations or worrying about the future. The 3-sense reset brings the mind back to the present. During a short walk, gently notice 3 simple sensory details around you. First, notice something you see, perhaps light reflecting on a window, the movement of leaves in the wind, or the shape of clouds in the sky. Next, notice something you hear. It might be the rhythm of footsteps on pavement, the distant sound of traffic, or the quiet hum of the environment around you. Finally, notice something you feel. Maybe the breeze touching your skin, the warmth of sunlight, or the steady movement of your body as you walk. These small observations anchor the mind in reality. Instead of drifting through thoughts, attention reconnects with the physical world. This practice is simple but powerful. The senses act like gentle anchors that bring awareness back to the present moment. The mind stops wandering. The body and mind begin moving together again. A short walk becomes more than just transportation. It becomes a brief moment of grounding. In a busy world filled with constant thinking, the senses remind us that peace is always available in the experience of the present moment. The sixth ritual focuses on something many people overlook, the moment when a task ends. Throughout the day, we move from one activity to another. Emails, conversations, meetings, small responsibilities. Often we finish one task and immediately rush into the next without pausing. But when the mind never acknowledges completion, a subtle tension begins to accumulate. Tasks feel unfinished even when they are done. This ritual is called the one breath completion. Each time you finish a task, pause for one slow breath. As you inhale, allow the body to settle. As you exhale, quietly say in your mind, "This task is complete." It may seem like a very small action, but it has an important psychological effect. The mind naturally seeks closure. When tasks remain mentally open, attention becomes scattered. Thoughts about unfinished responsibilities continue to circulate in the background. By consciously recognizing completion, you close the loop. The mind receives a clear signal that one chapter of activity has ended. This brief breath creates a boundary between tasks. It allows attention to reset before moving forward. Over time, this ritual reduces mental clutter and prevents the quiet accumulation of stress that builds throughout the day. One breath, one moment of recognition. Instead of carrying unfinished tension into the next task, the mind learns to move forward with clarity and calm. The seventh ritual happens at the quiet end of the day, just before sleep. Many people go to bed with their minds still active. Thoughts about work, conversations, unfinished tasks, or tomorrow's responsibilities continue moving through the mind. Even when the body lies down, the nervous system may still carry the tension of the day. The evening sensory scan helps gently release this tension. Before sleeping, close your eyes and take a slow breath, then begin to scan the body with calm awareness. Start with the forehead. Notice if there is any tightness or pressure. As you exhale, allow the muscles there to soften. Then move your attention to the shoulders. Many people unknowingly hold tension here throughout the day. With each breath, let the shoulders drop and relax. Next, notice the chest. Feel the gentle rise and fall of breathing. Allow the breath to slow naturally. Finally, bring awareness to the legs and feet. Feel the weight of the body resting against the bed. There is nothing you need to change. Simply noticing the body often allows tension to release on its own. This quiet practice helps dissolve the emotional residue of the day, the small frustrations, worries, and mental noise that accumulate over many hours. Instead of carrying that tension into sleep, the body and mind are given permission to rest. A slow breath, a relaxed body, a peaceful ending to the day. And in that calm stillness, sleep comes more naturally. Peace rarely arrives through dramatic life changes. More often, it grows quietly through small, repeated moments of awareness. A breath at a doorway, a slow sip of water, a pause before sleep. These simple actions may seem insignificant, yet they are microscopic devotions that gently train the mind to return to the present moment. Over time, these tiny rituals begin to reshape how we experience the day. Stress softens. The mind becomes steadier. Awareness appears more naturally. Take a moment to reflect. Which of these rituals could you try tomorrow? You don't need to practice all 7. Choose just one ritual and explore it for the next 24 hours. Sometimes the smallest pauses create the deepest peace. Subscribe to Buddha Motivation for more teachings on mindfulness, calm, and inner clarity.